Well, if you can't beat them. Hello guys, and we'll go back to another cold episode. On today's episode, we're taking a look at Ignister. That's hard to say. We're looking at the Ignister cards in addition to Maliss. Maliss has just gotten itself even more powerful with the addition of some very powerful generic Cybers support. I'm not gonna lie, these aren't Ignister cards any more than they are just Cybers.deck cards. So of course we're including them in here. If you don't know, backup Ignister is a way to special summon a guy and grab a dark Cybers monster. Guess what? Yeah, they're all dark Cybers monsters. Wow, crazy. On top of that, you can also grab Wizard Ignister, which also is a special summon, but it does lock you into Cybers monsters. Oh no, what a terrible... No good, very bad luck. If only there was a Cybers monster that would help us with this. Hey, have you read Allied Code Talker Ignister? It's a card that says Omni Negate. That's all you need to know about it. It also reborns, guys. Let's just go through the card by card. We're going to start off here with a lot of engine, actually, which is kind of funny. But we have a lot of engine with the Maliss monsters. We're playing 3 White Rabbit, 3 Dormouse, 2 March Hare, and 1 Chessy Cat, alongside our 3 backup Ignister, as well as the 1 Wizard Ignister. We're also playing 3 Allure of Darkness, which I'm including in the engine portion because all of these monsters are dark. And all of the Maliss monsters specifically also allow you to extend when this resolves. So there's that. Anyway, we also this also does help you play around Lancia in particular, because drawing it, if your opponent does Lancia you, yes, you don't get the banish, but you still get the draw too. So there's that. You just have to reveal a monster in hand, which is very funny. So cool. On top of that, of course, we're playing the 3 Maliss in Underground, and then 1 apiece of Maliss in the Mirror, MTP, and GWC, the Search and Reborn, respectively, for those traps. As for the non-engine, we're playing still a fair amount of it, but mostly they're just additional draw cards. We're playing 2 Maxi, 3 Ash Blossom, 3 Loss, as well as 3 Lancia, and 2 Droll and Lockbird. Oh, I forgot to mention previously, we're also playing Gold Sark, obviously. And that is it for the actual deck list. As for, last cards, obviously called by and crossed out. We want to not die to Lancia. That's pretty much it. As for the extra deck is actually very specific with the way that it works, so let me just go over the card by card as well. We're going to start off here with the Maliss monsters, Red Ransom, White Binder, and Hard Scripter, as well as Axis Code Talker, Appaloosa, and the new Allied Code Talker. Pretty self-explanatory there. We're also playing Firewall Dragon as an additional guy. Same thing with like SP Little Knight. These could be changed out for a bunch of different things, but for the most part, they seem to fit the best. Then we also have things like the Dark Charmer. We also have the Splash Mage and Cerberus to deal with the Chaos Hunter. We have Decode Talker and Link Rebo. And then we have 2 new inclusions, which actually do matter, which is Almirage, because we are playing a whole bunch of little guys. It is nice to be able to normal summon one of the little guys, and then link it off for a Cybers Link monster special summon from the extra deck to use with backup and Wizard Ignister. That is mostly what it is used for. Hey, if I draw a whole bunch of hand traps, I can normal summon this, and then still, alongside the backup or the Wizard, more or less do something, which is nice. And then we also have the Cybers Wicked, which, hey, allows you to get into backup Ignister, which is pretty solid. So you would make this, and then like special summon a Maliss monster to a zone it points to grab up your backup, and then from there you can special summon the backup, and then, you know, etc., etc. And then you can also go into Appaloosa. Unless I am mistaken? No, yeah, you should still be able to. You do just have to have a Cybers Engrave that you can banish. Yeah, it's also extension. So yeah, this card's pretty good. Let's go into the replays and show you how this deck performs. Alrighty, so here we are going first, and let's just see what we can accomplish here. We're going to start off here with the Allure of Darkness. My opponent's going to Ash that. I'm like, okay, that's fine. We're going to activate the Gold Sark here, and we're going to banish, and my opponent is going to immediately concede. Yep, that's how this deck performs. Alright, let's play an actual game this time, and I'm going to showcase more or less what the actual end board is going to look like. So we're going to start off here with the Allure of Darkness. We're going to draw 2 and banish the Dormouse. That's 2 hand traps. That's pretty solid. Activate the effect of the Dormouse. Dormouse is going to special summon itself, banishing the White Rabbit. White Rabbit is going to grab it itself, and then set GWC. Here we're going to activate the Maliss in Underground and go for the Chessy Cat. Chessy Cat is just going to be an additional material for now. We're going to go into the link decoder into the red ransom. Red ransom effect is going to activate. Link decoder effect is going to activate, and we are going to grab up the Maliss in the mirror. This is a mistake. Right here, making Apo. This was a mistake. I'm supposed to activate the GWC to reborn, and then banish the red ransom so that we can trigger the red ransom. That's a bit of a goof on my part, but alas, this shows you the point of playing Almirage, because now we can go Wizard to reborn a guy. Now we are locked into Cybers, but that's okay, because we still have the ability off of the Chessy Cat to banish the Maliss in the mirror and banish the red ransom, which is great. We're going to grab another March Hare, so we have 2 March Hares in hand. Then we're going to banish another guy and just go into a White Binder. Out comes the White Binder. White Binder effect is going to banish another guy, just for fun. And now we can go for the GWC and reborn another guy, gaining 23. Pay 9, and then go for another White Binder, setting the GWC, and then linking off into Allied Code Talker. We go for this guy last because he locks us once he special summons, because you can't special summon for the rest of the turn. So we're going to special summon back our 2 guys, 2 zones this guy points to specifically, and then pass the turn, having drawn a million cards. My opponent's going to start with the Imperm here, and this may seem strange to not immediately, like, negate, but triple attack is a card. And then they activate Raigeki. Hip Hip Hooray. It's Numeron. Who expected Numeron? Anyway, they're going to do a whole bunch of things. I'm actually going to just Ash this Memories of Hope. I don't want them drawing 4 cards. That's incredibly terrible. They attempted to go to combat here, but that's fine, because we're going to just reborn everything off of the 1 March Hare in our hand. We're going to banish 3 of our own monsters, and we're going to activate all 3 of their effects. Specifically, put them into these zones, so that we have the ability to, well, do this, which is pretty funny. We also banish a backup Ignister, because it's funny. And that's pretty much it. Now, if you don't know, Red Ransom is a card that has text where, while this card points to a monster, you swap the original attack and defensive effect monsters your opponent controls, which is very good against this deck, because it doubles the attack points. And their defense is only 100. Anyway, we're going to do a whole bunch of things. Most notably, we do this to set the MTP. So the opponent's going to go combat, they're going to crash, deal 22, and then realize that they don't really have anything to do here. But that's fine. We're going to go for the MTP here. We're going to banish. We're going to banish, and we specifically banish the field spell, and we're going to grab back the March Hare. At this point, the opponent can't really do anything, so they're just going to link off into Saryuya! Out comes Saryuya. They're going to activate the effect, so they're going to put 2 back. All but 2 back, and then pass back to us with a million cards in hand. We're going to go for the White Binder, just reset the MTP, because why not? And then at this point, we're going to go for the Assess Code Talker. They're going to activate their effect, which is mandatory, and we're going to activate our Access Code Talker effect, and we're going to pop the Saryuya. We're also going to reborn our, just kidding, they drew Ash. Sure, that's fine. We're going to actually boost off of the Dormouse here, as well as reborn our White Binder, and just, or White Rabbit, and just go to combat here. Numeron Wall. Yeah, sure, that's fine. There is not a draw in the deck that they could possibly have that does anything at this point, because we're going to go for the Hard Scripter here, and then we're going to go for the March Hare. March Hare is going to reborn the Red Ransom by banishing it, and we're going to grab up another Maliss in the Underground. And then at this point, we're going to go for the Firewall Dragon, just because we can. I'm going to also discard 2 for hand size, because, I don't know, why not? Anyway, the opponent passes the turn, and again, this game is fundamentally over, so we are just going to activate the Called By on the Numeron Wall, because that's the only thing that could realistically stop us, and even that doesn't actually stop us. I'm just lying to you. But we're just going to go to combat and deal lethal damage. Yeah, good game. Okay, now what do we actually do going second? Well, the answer is we play draw spells, like Fool Loss, as previously mentioned. And mostly what we are trying to do is just beat through our opponent's board with Engine. So just drawing a whole bunch of cards is pretty solid. Anyway, my opponent reveals that they're going to activate the 7th Tachyon, and then, yeah, they drew cross out. So while the Ash was fairly good there to potentially stop the X from even hitting their hand, yeah, there's not a lot that we can do there. They're going to go X into Sword into Ice, and I'm going to Fool Loss them. And they make a decision that I don't actually agree with here. They just go for the Detonator here. As much as Fool Loss feels similar to that of Max C, it's not Max C. It's something you can still realistically play through, and specifically with Ryzeal, you also have the capability of more or less making a very strong end board, if not your optimal end board, with 3 to 4 draws, which seems like a lot, but because of how powerful your end board is, oftentimes it's worth it to actually go for that. But here, my opponent just elects to go for the Detonator. I think they should have at least gone Duo Drive, but sure, it's fine. It does mean I only get the one draw, but my one draw happened to be Maliss and Mirror, which is going to... well, technically at this point it doesn't do anything until I draw March Hare. Now it does something. But alas, we're going to start off here with the Dormouse by banishing the what have you. Of course, they're going to negate that with the Cross. Then they're going to activate the effect to pop our Malice in the Underground, which is fine, because we're just going to elect to negate here. But this eats up all of their materials, and notably... the Dormouse is banished, and we can grab it back off of March Hare. So now we get to do normal summon, and yeah, we do also have the MTP, so we can just tag out. So the Dormouse is guaranteed to resolve. Yeah, that was a hand of 5 cards, wasn't it? But again, this is where it's like, oh yeah, had they just given me like 2 or 3 more draws, I don't know if I would have had the capability of actually pushing through their end board. Maybe I would have. Maybe I could have just been like, okay, here I'm just going to negate and target this guy, and then they can't really do anything, and what have you. But alas, what could you do? Alrighty, here we are once again going first, and this is the story of a girl. We're going to start off here with the Malice in Underground and go for the Chessy Cat here. We're going to activate... oh, Chaos Hunter. This is me being greedy. Okay, realistically, you should never go Chessy Cat. That's just a terrible, no good, very bad option. This is silly. This is goofy. This is not very smart of me. Realistically, what I should have done there is go for White Rabbit. Since I already had the Dormouse in hand, just go White Rabbit, right? That would have been the better option. I could have also gone for March Hare. That would have also not been a terrible option, because then I could have like normal summon Dormouse and activate the effect. I don't. I'm greedy. I was like, I'll go Chessy Cat and banish, and it'll be great. And then I lose to Chaos Hunter here. So, oopsie poopsie. I just have to go for the Cerberus. This is also why we're playing Cerberus, for this card exactly. And we're going to pop here. Now, notably, if you saw that, my opponent is playing Regenesis. Now, I actually do think that Regenesis is a fairly decent deck as of right now, because of the fact that you can play it with Chaos Hunter, which pairs very well against Malice, right? So if a bunch of people are playing Malice, and you have the ability to play a card that not only helps with Engine, but also has the ability to like, disrupt the opponent by like floodgating them and potentially just immediately winning you the game. It's pretty damn good. However, they're actually playing Ignister, which is very funny. Anyway, the Droll here, I don't know how much it does, but it could potentially do something here. They're going to go for the Invocation here. They are going to Invocate into Mechaba, which is notable because Regenesis does require the 2500 attack, which this happens to be, which is nice. So now they can summon the Sage here and do a ton of damage, which is scary, because I'm playing Malice, so I don't really have that many effects that I can activate here. But alas, I do draw White Rabbit, which is very solid here. But we're going to go for the Malice in Underground, and because of the way that Mechaba works, we actually have to banish the Malice in the Mirror. So we're going to banish the Dormouse here and just grab up March Hare, because we already have the White Rabbit. We're going to go for the Dormouse here to reborn itself, and then go immediately into Lingaribo. Why? We have a set card. That set card is most likely Regenesis Birth. If it is Regenesis Birth, Sage also becomes another point of interaction, which means by going Lingaribo, I am contesting 2 interactions, because the one interaction off of the Sage, or off of the trap card, and then the Sage, right? Now they have to use one or the other, but notably, like, it does kind of turn this off, because they'd have to send it off of Sage. So realistically, I am just contesting both of these by just making Lingaribo. If they were smart, what they should have done is just immediately booked Dormouse, because the Regenesis Birth, what it does is it's a book, but it also has the ability to reborn stuff. So there's that. But realistically, you just book, and then you also have the negate off of Sage available to you. So I don't know why we didn't immediately do that. I guess they were like, well, I guess you already have, like, you could have your normal summon, you grabbed March Hare, maybe this is the better option, but Mechaba does check the rest of that. So I should be dead here, but alas, my opponent didn't immediately fire their card, which most of the time is the correct option. However, notably, Mechaba is actually bad right now due to the fact that it banishes. So yeah, I just grabbed the White Rabbit here, and now we're off to the races. We're going to go for the Link Decoder here. We're going to go into the White Binder here. We're going to activate the effect of the White Binder. We are going to specifically banish the Alistair, so that they can't, like, top deck Invocation or something. And then we're going to set GWC, which will be activated to reborn a guy, which does put us very, very low, and notably, now we can't activate any of our Link monster effects. But that's okay. We're just going to go into Splash Mage here. We're going to activate the Splash Mage, grab out the guy, and then just go into Axis Code Talker. If you're wondering why I went Splash Mage, it's because it puts exactly 3 into Grave of different types for the Axis Code Talker. So we get to banish 1, 2, and 3 and deal with the field. And yes, I was correct. It is Birth. Trash. So we get to deal with the Mechaba, we get to deal with the Sage, and we get to deal with the Trap Card, and everything gets banished. We're just going to go to combat here, and there's not a whole lot that I can do from this position just because I'm so low on life points. So we make Heart Scriptor here. And we also don't have like a spell that I can grab. I can't grab like the Maliss in the Mirror because it's already banished. So, alas. We do still have White Rabbit in hand, so it's not terrible. But of course, they top deck Alistair the Invoker, which is a little annoying, but they're going to activate the Invocation, and I just get to banish the Invoker, and now they can't really do anything. So Invocation just goes to Grave, but they're going to shuffle it back to grab back the Invoker, and then just special summon out Sage, because, yeah, I do also have 2,500 stats, that is true. But alas, it doesn't matter. They're at 24. We have White Rabbit here, and we have the ability to just kill him. We draw another White Rabbit. That's fine. It doesn't really matter. We're going to go White Rabbit here. We're going to set the MTP. I know it's in hand. We just go to combat here and banish, and then Reborn, and then that's lethal. So, good game, but yeah, I should not have won that game. Holy crap. And we're back with the deck, and yes, Maliss is still just as powerful as ever. The new cards are very nice as additional extenders, and it allows you to play even more Engine, which means that, for the most part, what you're relying on is just stopping the opponent from playing the game, because honestly, you're probably also going to be able to play through pretty much any half board they make, just by sheer value, right? With things like Allure, with things like the Ignister cards, etc., etc., you're just going to have so much gas, just in general, yeah, most of the time you're just going to be able to play through a board, unless the board is uninterrupted, which is pretty rare, to be fair, or if the end board is like particularly strong, like Maliss or Ryzeal end boards that have a million points of interaction. For the most part, you're going to be able to play through them, right? Just by the sheer value that you can generate. Yeah, that's pretty much it. It's this deck's insane. I didn't even really showcase the Ignister cards, but yeah, I mean, backup is very nice. It's also on normal or special that you get to search out a guy, so you can even like normal summon it and grab like a March Hare if you need to, or something else of that nature. It's just like a million points of interaction, right? While also being able to extend through Oblivion infinitely, because you just have so many cards. It's kind of obscene. Even like the backup Ignister stuff still gets you access to Allied Code Talker due to the way that, you know, 2 equals 5 in this game. So that is something. Granted, summoning this guy doesn't really do anything because of the way that this works, right? It's like, yeah, you could make Allied Code Talker, but because of the way that this card works, you'd still need like an additional thing. So he's not exactly great, but I don't know, you might be able to do something there, right? But that is one of the things that makes this deck powerful, even more powerful, I should say, is because now it does have actual lines through Lancia due to a myriad of things, right? Mostly due to the backup Ignister stuff, but you also have, like, you know, you have the Allied Code Talker, you have Splash Mage and Cyber's Wicked, and all of it. Well, I guess Cyber's Wicked doesn't really do anything, but you still can make, like, Apo, etc., etc. So there's a ton of things that just make it nice and stronger than previously. Obviously, Lancia still is very problematic, but at the very least, a lot of boards now can end on like half boards, or they can end on like pseudo boards or something like that. So anyway, that's gonna be it. Thank you guys so much for watching it, and remember to always stay frosty. Bye bye.